It's like, is it recording? Is it not recording? Ooh, all right. So you'll have to excuse me. I'm going back to the old way of doing readings. Going back to the old way where you hear me pause and go, oh, children. Because they're upstairs. Hopefully you don't hear them, but this is an open space and this is a loft, and of course somebody is mowing their freaking lawn right now. Yay. It doesn't matter what time I try and do these. I swear it doesn't. It does not. Something's always happening. Anyway, so you ordered some full body tarot, which we're gonna do today during this video. Whenever I went to my little corner, I asked what decks wanted to work with you today, and we got the postcards from Liminal Space and the Way Home Tarot. Those were the two decks that wanted to work with you. I pulled 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pulled 10 cards. So we're going to go with them kind of congruently. We're going to do one Way Home and one postcards. And I think this is going to be like more of a collective energy, the energy that's coming around you and that's been around you for a while now. And just things that like just need to be said, kind of like a reading catch up. That's why you probably had so many cards that jumped out of the deck for you, which is fine. So let's get into it, why don't we? So the first card I pulled was the 8 of Pentacles, and it is reversed. And our pentacles connect us to our element of earth. That's why I love the little bee here, because beekeepers are always kind of like busy and they're always trying to build, you know, their ultimate hive, if you will. And the 8 of Pentacles also has to do with money. And I feel like I'm just as much as I'm dragging you through the mud, I'm dragging myself through the mud here with these first couple of cards. Because the 8 of Pentacles, when in reversed, looks at self-development. And, you know, I feel like you kind of came from this. You were like trying to search for your building blocks to uplift your own personal and spiritual tower and your own personal confidence and your own personal zest. And you had a lot of healing and trauma to go through to get here. And I don't really think your they're telling me to say pyramid. I guess maybe triangles are important to you. Your spiritual pyramid, for whatever reason, is not done yet. You are not done yet. You are still developing and learning how to uplift yourself in a confident manner. And I think that's why you pulled the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, because it's harder for you to do like whenever you're more grounded. Because I feel like things affect you a little bit more whenever you're more connected to the earth and to other people's emotions and things around you. It's easier for you to deflect and be like, well, I'm going to go worry about them, and I'm not really going to worry about too much about myself. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. So that's where the 8 of Pentacles kind of has you in this weird, I've already been in this energy, but I'm still kind of in it. It's kind of like you're in the middle. Like you're in the middle of this phase of life. You're not quite out of it, but you're not still in like this shitty pile of it either. I hope that makes sense. So your postcard, the first one that you got, I was like, oh my God, of course this is the card that would jump out and call me out just as much as it's calling you out. I actually had a dream about snakes, about water snakes. It was a red, yellow, and black snake that was coming into my house to try and get me and my children. But water snakes are actually a sign that you're going to be getting help, and that help is going to be coming to you very soon. And you pulled the postcard Snake Medicine. And I really love this card anyway for Snake Medicine, because not only are you coming from this place, but you're going into a snake medicine energy, which means you need to shed the old layers of anything that's kind of, you know, staying stagnant, or any energy that's being deflected on you. Like if somebody's trying to like push a certain opinion on you or a certain want or need, like instead of just being like, well, you don't matter, you need to shed that and just not even let it affect you at all. And that is the beautifulness of snake medicine, is just as much as like whenever you get bit by the snake, you still need that snake venom to cure you. The non-reaction is just as good as the action. And I think understanding snake medicine on a deeper level is we already have all the tools in our own spiritual and Wiccan apothecaries where we don't really need other psychic mediums. Like, we can do it on our own. And a good way I have always found and seen to work through this type of snake medicine energy is not only to do meditations, is to write down how far you've grown over like the last couple of years, spiritually, energetically, and physically. That's my freaking ice machine. But also is in dreamland. Like, start writing down your dreams, start paying attention if you haven't been already, or look back at old dreams and see the patterns in which they've shifted, because you're working during your dream state. I don't know if you know that, but spiritually, you're working, you're evolving, you're off doing things, and you've totally got this, by the way. I knew that was going to happen. I was going to have to sneeze. Hold on. Okay. People are texting me. Okay. Excuse me. I had to sneeze. All right. So let's go into the next couple of cards, which you pulled the Nine of Cups. So we're coming out of the snake medicine and we're going deeper into something else. And that's, I think, a collective energy that's really, really strong right now. So Nine of Cups is here. And remember, our cups are our emotions and the water element. And so I think as you've come through all of this, you're like emotionally, romantically, energetically, you're in a more balanced state than you were in the beginning of the year and even at the end of last year. I think for the first time you're dealing with a lot of other people's personal anxieties and not your anxiety. And you're kind of like the catch-all, like the carrier for that. And I want to tell you that, like, you can be in this state for a little bit, but just don't be everybody's catch-all. Like, they need to deal with their own shit. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, these times are very uncertain and it's hard and it's heavy as hell. But you're doing a really good job of kind of like not letting it affect you. And that's really good. Like, I think you should be proud of that, and I'm proud of you for it. So your postcard is so be it. Whatever happens, happens. And it's because it's very reflective of you being in this very chill and honest and good spot for you. This is for you. Maybe not for anybody else, but like, this reading isn't about anybody else right now. It's about you and how far you have come. And I think it's important that you really acknowledge that and hold space and have peace for that. And they're telling me to mention that, like, if you need to do any soul retrievals, that if you need to bring any pieces back that maybe hold bitterness or anything, like, now is the time to do that, because like emotionally you can handle it better than if you weren't as in a good spot. That makes sense. So I would definitely be doing some soul retrievals right now while you have the time, and the emotional space to kind of fill any lessons that they want to teach you. Those lost soul pieces, I think they're calling for you. So the next card you got was, we are deep in our feelings right now, but it's a good thing, because to be so deep in our feelings, we really explore the different sides of our personality. And I think that's something that really needs to come out for you, because they're telling me to use the word stagnant. Like you've been a little stagnant lately, not just in your emotional depth, but in your creative depth. And we're going to get to that in just a second, because the next card you pulled was the Ace of Cups. And so with the Ace of Cups, I literally wrote down, like, this is kind of an emotional uprising for you. You're kind of going to be crescending on, like, a high. And you're just going to be really into your creative development. Things are going to be coming through you in water and visions and mirrors. Very reflective, self-reflective. And you're going to have a lot of third eye visions come to you about things that you want to do. Like, I just keep seeing you like painting or drawing or doing something. Like, you're so creative, you can do these things. And I think now into the summertime, it's going to be a time for you to really utilize that energy and know that it's there with you, and that not only do you got this, like, you can do this, because there's not any room for doubt anymore. Like, you're just going to take advantage of the time in and the creativeness to do so. So, and speaking of that, your postcards card is what a time to be alive. I think a lot of people are in panic mode, and you are very much in reflective mode, and you're like, I'm gonna get shit done. Like, you're very energized, you're very like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. We're gonna be fine, everything's gonna be okay, like, we got this, we're over here, everybody's over there. They're saying it's almost like because you're on land and you're removed, you're not in a sea of like other people's energy. Like, you feel really good, and that's important to acknowledge that, because I feel like you spend a lot of time not feeling very good about your emotional and mental health state. So right now, super chill. And if you're not feeling super chill, you're gonna get here. So don't think that you're like, well, this bitch doesn't know what she's talking about. I do, because you're working on it, and this is your spiritual team kind of like giving you a leg up. Like, it's gonna be okay, and you know, it's not the end of the world. Everything's gonna be fine. So the next card you pulled was the Daughter of Swords, and the next card you pulled was the Daughter of Swords, and this is, our swords are our mental clarity and our air element. And I always see this as you kind of like searching for answers. And the reason why I say you're always searching for answers whenever you get this card is whenever it's in reverse, you're kind of like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Like, she's giving me all these good ideas, but it's almost like you're going to go through a point in a period where you're not going to feel pulled towards anything. And that is okay. The important part is you don't let go of what those body feels are going to feel for you. Like, if you're like, I feel really good about pottery right now, or I want to be in the garden and around plants and doing work with our land, then that's the creative energy that you need to be focusing on. Not, you know, maybe it's not drawing, maybe it's not writing, maybe you just want to plant a garden, maybe you just want to like be outside and play with your kids. The creative energy is not just producing a product. The creative energy is making you dive deeper into yourself, into your spirituality, and also finding a moment of happiness and light. That's what creative energy does for us. It gives us light and healing in a moment where it might not always be easy to find it. And I think that's what the sole purpose of this month is giving us light and healing in moments where it is a little bit harder, and you might need to go on like a little bit of a quest to find that, but I think you're going to be fine. And I'm sorry if you're hearing my kids are being so loud up there. So loud. But at least they're not down here with us. Okay, so the next card you got is a super huge call for you to listen to your intuition, to listen to your body feels, to listen to things that are trying to reach out to you that maybe you've ignored due to fear or just not having the time to really acknowledge that, okay? So you got God is a goddess. This is a huge call for you to work with your womb energy, with your feminine side. I feel like a lot of times you hold more of a masculine strength, but you are very girly, and you do have the capability to really relate to that feminine witch goddess side, I don't think you're perceived that way. And for you, that's always a struggle because you're like, well, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And I think it's just going to be starting small. Like, hey, I'm going to, put on a dress today. I'm going to feel that feminine energy. Maybe you do meditation in a skirt one day. Like, it's up to you. It's what you're feeling. But I definitely think, like, the month of May, I did a whole post about, mothering yourself. Mother yourself in the way in which your mother didn't mother you. Because I think we all need that. And it's a nice reminder to do so. So for the month of May, like, really focus on that goddess energy and what you want to bring in. And that feminine side. So the next card you pulled was the Four of Wands. And I love this card because it's the personal power card. 4 is a complete number. And it's awesome because this is really, saying to me, they're literally saying right now, like, what you dream will come true. What you want will happen. How high you vibrate, like, will come towards you if you embrace this energy. This reading is kind of like a roadmap of, like, how you can get to this point where you're going to have success and beautifulness and power and coming together, even if there's a storm happening around you, which is kind of like what this card reminds me of. Like, you yourself are going to be fine because you have the power and the strength to do whatever it is you're wanting to do. I feel like you are going to be expanding and you want to expand. They're saying, like, your Etsy shop or your shop or something. Like, once all of this is over, I see, like, little bows and boutiques or maybe, like, flea markets or something like that. And I think you're going to do really well because that brings out a lot more of your feminine energy and your feminine side. And it's strong in you. You swing like a pendulum. Like, you go back and forth really, really hard. And mostly for you, it's going to be important to find a middle ground between that feminine and masculine side. Moving forward to that. Okay, so your last card is your postcard, and it says drink water. And I love that for you because I just talked about finding a balance between your masculine and feminine energy and how, like, you need to be embracing a little bit more of that femininity and not being such a stronghold character. And water will kind of balance that out. The water element is also found in cups, which kind of talks a lot about our emotional state and how we view the difference in our emotions. And maybe try and, like, keep track of that. Like, obviously, yes, drink more water, stay hydrated. But keep track of, like, what triggers you to be sad. Keep track of what triggers you to be happy, and most importantly, note whenever you find peace about something. If you find peace drinking a cup of coffee in the middle of the morning and you're just like, I just feel so calm. That's what I mean whenever you find peace. Not like you have to sit there and go through 20 years of trauma. Like, peace can be listening to the hummingbirds outside. Peace can be playing with your kids. Whatever's going to bring you from kind of like an agitated state to a calm state, like, to me, that's what peace is. And the drink water card is to remind you throughout this month that maybe, it's time to really recognize when you have peace, not whenever you're just chaotic from one moment to the next, not whenever you're really, really happy or really, really sad. Like, you just need to, I'm calm right now. Holy shit, the world isn't ending. Holy shit, I can do this. Like, holy shit, everything is gonna be okay. That is a moment in which needs to be recognized. And I think in the past, like, you haven't really done that, and nobody, like, really does that in your family. Everybody's, like, either high or low. There really isn't a in between. And I think you're supposed to be leading them to a more in-between state, like your family. You are the glue that holds everybody together, but whenever the glue is a little messy, so is everybody else. And so we have to get you to a more, there's a word I'm searching for, a more eco-friendly state. Because you are the person that really does gather everybody and hold everybody together. Even though they think you're a little woo-woo, like, you are that person for your family. So it's important to pay attention to you during this month. That was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting back to these. It's been a really long road of feeling like I was dying. So I will catch up with you later on.